Hi, it's Jules here from Clinical EFT Connect, and I'm just chatting here with Eden Hookway-Jones. How you going, Eden?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, really good. So we're just running a series of interviews here to talk to just everyday people about how they have used EFT to help them. So Eden, what is the main problem that EFT has helped you with so far?
Look, there's been so many problems and things I was facing that EFT has helped me with and continues to help me with, but probably the biggest one has been my having anxiety and anxious thoughts.
Okay. And how long would you say you've had anxiety for?
Uh, Probably without realizing it. Oh man, like I don't remember a time not having it, so maybe 15
Okay.
plus
Long
years.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. And so before you started doing EFT, what was it like for you having this anxiety? How did it show up for you?
Definitely more emotional and sensitive, even
Hmm.
though I am still a sensitive soul.
Mm.
I felt helpless, like I was always going to be broken or that there was always something wrong with me. Um, for example, if something, particularly around the ideas of being, rejected or abandoned, maybe in like everyday situations, I might get a bit depressed or overthink situations like, did I say that right? Did I say that wrong? Um, and so, yeah, it was kind of, it was a lot in my head. Very, very present.
True. So would you say you were experiencing some form of anxiety each day? Most,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah. And what had you tried before to help with anxiety?
Uh, Talk therapy, um, yoga, exercise. Um, Without really knowing what it was, I didn't really, apart from that, I didn't know that's what I was experiencing. So I didn't really outwardly search, but yeah, diet as well. Yeah, part of being anxious meant that I was hyperfixating on other things like, oh, I feel a bit inflamed, so I'm going to change my whole diet. I'm going to focus on that now, so I feel like I have some sort of control. Oh, now I'm training for a triathlon because then I focus on that rather than what else is going on over here. So they may have not, some of them were positive, but they became almost obsessive. It would be masking the underlying anxiousness. So, but yeah, then thankfully someone introduced me to tapping and I thought, oh, what's this? Something else to try. I'm still broken, but I'm really glad.
Okay. And so having done a fair bit of EFT in your time, what do you notice is different now in terms of either how that anxiety shows up for you or perhaps how you manage it differently now?
I honestly feel like a different person. Um, I I know I have aged, obviously, but I feel wiser and I feel equipped. So starting a new job, I've started probably 2 or 3 new jobs in the last 2 years. And anytime I'm going to an interview, rather than normally I'd be like shaky or sweaty, I just feel like I have the secret tool to life where I don't have to be worried about facing scary things because I know, I'm going to have tapping to help me calm down and siphon, like decide what is real and what is just anxiety talking to me. So I feel like my toolkit has more options in it to pull on when you need it, when you're panicking or stressing, overthinking, preparing for the dentist, things like that. Um, and I feel like I can, yeah, regulate myself. If I feel, I'm getting into a tizzy, it's almost like I can go, oh, all I need to do is go into the bathroom if I'm in a public area and just, tap. And then I'm like, what am I actually feeling? So, yeah, I honestly feel like I'm not broken and it's just my body, responding to a stress for whatever reason, trauma, etc. But I have something to help me calm down anywhere, any place.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it, isn't it? And so,
Yeah.
like having tried other things like talk therapy, for example, what feels like to you is the difference with EFT?
The main thing I think as well, because I was always not feeling good enough as part of my anxiousness. I felt like I wanted to talk to my therapist or people all the time to get like external affirmations. Whereas now I feel like that talk therapy still has a place in society, and it is important to get things out to talk about them. But I like EFT. Even if you don't have someone, you can still tap with yourself. So I don't have to now always rely on, booking in a session with Jules, even though I would love to always, see your beautiful face and talk to you. But it means that, after hours, I'm not texting a friend, burdening them with a problem that maybe could have been solved with a little bit of nervous like system regulation. And I'd always leave talk therapy or other types of therapy sessions like sometimes a bit vulnerable, more like undone, and there was nothing to box it away, which is what I love about in tapping, when you finish off a session and you put it on the shelf and you can finish it up next time. Because sometimes I just felt I'd go home and be like, have to cross the whole day off, maybe the next few days, as it reopened wounds and things like that, which still is happening in EFT, but it's so much safer and gentler. And anytime that one of my practitioners helping me would notice if I was getting, dysregulated or upset or hyper anxious, they would help me come back down. So I just feel so much safer doing EFT. Anytime someone wants to have an intense conversation, I think I don't want to have it unless we're tapping, because this could be opening up something and it could be making you worse. So yeah, I really love how it ties off anything that's been opened up, and it's practical. You have something to do with how you're feeling.
So true. And so it sounds like you do use EFT fairly regularly yourself now still, even though you haven't been working with a practitioner or in training for a while.
Yeah. And I do miss being in that. Life has been different, so I haven't been able to practice as much, even as a practitioner. But I would not survive without it. I tap in the car, tap in the shower, anytime. And even if it's not like a full tapping, it might be squeezing my fingertips or, doing some other things that I have learned, especially like the daily energy routine, for example, like things like that. But yeah, tapping helps me, particularly as a teacher. I use it to help regulate myself if I feel like something has happened in the classroom that's making me feel anxious, whether I'm doing that when no one's around or getting the whole class to join in with a few rounds. But I don't always do it exactly the same way that we might do it in a session. I'm not talking. I just say, do this, do this, do this, do this, and they're following. And then I see a few people yawn or relax, and then I think, okay, it's time. We can start going into class now. And that helps me. So, it might help a few kids out there too to get their attention and
Yeah, what
refocus.
grade are you teaching? Are you doing primary or secondary school?
I'm teaching. Yeah, I'm in primary.
And how do the
Yeah,
children
primary.
respond to when you start tapping in the classroom?
Some, laugh. Some giggle, especially when we're doing under the armpit. But I go with that because now we're not getting angry, we're laughing,
Yeah.
and I just let them feel whatever, because most of the time I'm using it to refocus them. Like, hello, the teacher's here. You might have been elevated from lunchtime, or that person did this, or someone stole your handball, but now we're doing this and we're doing this, and we're, tapping here and we're tapping here. So some just go, yep, I'm doing what the teacher's doing. And some of them say, that feels really nice. Some go, oh, and they make silly sounds. But in one way or another, I know like a few people are really getting the benefits, if not all of them, as they start to then calm down and focus on the teacher and focus on, okay, now we're back and we're going into the classroom, or refocusing, changing the activity. So yeah, they might laugh, but I think it's good, better than screaming at each other.
Right. And they do it, right? And I think like you're saying, what you're noticing is they're co-regulating with you.
Yeah.
So you're borrowing from your stores of regulation, you're helping regulate your nervous system, and then you're able to help them regulate their little nervous systems. And there's a more capacity to just be present and to be here and now and focusing. And yeah,
Totally.
lots of teachers who use EFT in the classroom and swear by it.
Yeah. No, and I haven't necessarily like advertised that's what I'm doing, because I do chuck in a few other like different modalities into the movements. But I saw it one day. A teacher was just saying like, you know, do this, like just getting them to do like actions to copy them.
Brain.
And yeah, and then I was like, I can do that with tapping because I actually know the acupoints and I can give them some even further benefits to help move their energy or whatever. You know, a lot of cross body stuff from your daily energy routine. I forget where it comes from, but like when you,
Yeah, energy medicine.
yeah, the energy medicine. So I've incorporated some of that. And at first they're like, I can't do it. I'm like, just calm down and try. And then you can see their brains like exploding. But just people starting to go and calm down helps me calm down.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's the
So
gifts I'm giving.
yeah, that's right. Love
And
it.
so if there was someone listening to this video who perhaps has anxiety themselves and maybe has tried a few other things, what would you say to them about giving EFT a go for anxiety?
Do it now. Yeah. Try it. Like, I know it seems unusual, and you might feel like you look strange or it might sound crazy, but it works. It's magic. So try it today. Book a session. You know, if there's a link somewhere here, click it.
That's great. Very good. And I think, you know, what anybody who has gotten into EFT in some kind of serious way, which you obviously have, having trained in it and, you know, gone through partway through certification, is that just we love that ability to be able to use it on ourselves. So yes, it's great to help other people, and that's important, but really, like, I like it because I can use it to help me.
Yeah,
I haven't found
totally.
any other thing in my 35 years or whatever as a trauma therapist, social worker, and nothing else that I've tried that actually I can use on myself whenever I need to help
Yeah.
me feel better. And then I can help other people more effectively.
Yeah, and I think I was always interested in it as well. Like growing up, going to lots of counselors and therapists, how I wanted to be in that role, especially as a teacher, or maybe I would move into counseling. But then as I saw so much, you know, trauma and things like that, I was like, this is too wild. I can't listen to people's problems. But EFT, like you said, it was also about, I felt like as a practitioner or, you know, when I was doing my certification, like how being protected and safe and regulating my nervous system by doing tapping at the same. I have not, like you said, I have not seen anything like that where, you know, and you're working with so many different energies and problems and their burdens, which is amazing that you can hold space for that. But it's like, okay, now I need to go somewhere and help myself. Almost like there's a field
It's a
around
protection
to protect
sort of,
me. And
yeah, it's so good, isn't it?
yeah.
All right, well, that's great. Thank you so much for speaking to us today around that, Eden. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.